Yo, this is Fling with DFS Army, and we're doing a week 4 cash lineup review. Let's do it. All right, so I want to start here with some DFS Army wins. So it was a very good week with DFS Army overall, cash games as well. So couple testimonials, crushed cash double ups with your info. My boy Graham, he has crushed cash again, and he basically what he is saying here is he's gone through 4 weeks without ever having to deposit because he's played a lot of cash games. You could see he's got a couple double ups here where he made a good amount of money, ended up having a profitable day, and really that's the idea of cash games. We teach you at DFS Army how to play cash games, how to profit in cash games, and proper bankroll management so that you can fund your GPP tickets and not have to continue to deposit so you can be a profitable DFS player. So if being a profitable DFS player is important to you, here we are. We can teach you at DFS Army on how to do so. So, in fact, we got a special promotion right now, and I don't know how many more days it's going to last. Maybe another week. I will share that at the end of the video. But let's get into my cash lineup. I'm going to go with the cheat sheet first. And this is something I offer to we offer to DFS Army subscribers. We do a cheat sheet for DraftKings and FanDuel for all of our contests and all the slates. But essentially, I do the cash sheet every week. So my cash game quarterbacks that were in consideration were Kyler Murray and Jaden Daniels. They were both projected for the most ownership. Back, let's see if the chalkboard is still up. No. So this is for the Monday slates. So we'll have to go back to the cheat sheet, but you could see the chalkboard. The idea there is that's going to show ownership. It's going to show, what the field is doing, where the potential good plays are. And, when it comes to cash games, we really want to eat the good chalk. And the chalkboard gives us an idea, kind of provides a safety net of, oh my gosh, this player is, in a good spot and he's projected for 30% ownership. I'm only trying to beat half the field. It doesn't make sense for me to fade that chalk because if that player has a good game, I'm likely toast in cash games. Whereas in tournaments, you might want to look to fade that. So we look at the chalkboard and, we see Kyler Murray and Jaden Daniels popping as the top two guys. Now, my lean was Jaden. He had averaged 23 points per game. So I liked him in cash, and that is the guy that I went with. And until he's priced really high, he's probably going to be our cash game quarterback going forward. All the slates that he's available. And even if he's priced high, like as long as he keeps up averaging over 20 plus points per game, that's the kind of floor we want to lock into our cash games. Now, at running back, it's funny because I thought I put Bijan on the sheet just to kind of let everyone know that he was projected for high ownership. But with the 2 stars, you could see I didn't like him. I thought he was weird chalk in that spot. I also, if I was paying up for a 7K back, I preferred Brees Hall. Now, he had an even worse week than Bijan, but I didn't end up getting there in my cash lineup. As we're going to see in a minute, I liked Jordan Mason. I identified him as a core play. He was 6,700. And with that, I went down to the 2 5K backs. I had a 3 running back week, but I really liked Mason here as a core play. And then, some value backs that were projected as chalk and in good spots. At wide receiver, the guy that I liked the most, obviously, was Deontay as a core play at only 5,600. He smashed for us in cash. And then you had to find some value guys, right? So I liked Chris Godwin versus, like Rashee Rice at 7,300. So I preferred Chris Godwin. I love Nico Collins. So these were my top 2 pay up options. And then going down, I viewed Michael Wilson as a pretty good punt. 4,300. He was going to get a lot of targets, but the Arizona offense just was not good. But he didn't hurt you that much because of his price, as long as you made the right decisions in the rest of your lineup. As long as you played Nico Collins, you played Jordan Mason and whatnot. And then really saw it as more of a pay down week in cash, but I thought Goddard was actually in a good spot. Normally, we want to pay down at tight end in cash, but when you get a guy like Dallas Goddard, who both of the wide receivers are out, the top two wide receivers, and he'd gotten 11 targets the week before, like that is the one time that I'd be willing to pay up in cash at tight end. But really, I thought the pay down options were just Seki Strains and Tremble. And then we're going to look to pay down at defense too. So tight end, defense, tons of variance. More the rule of thumb, most weeks you're going to want to pay down in those two spots. So yeah, that was my cash sheet, and I think we'll see here just my thought and putting together my lineup. It was a great cash week for me. I won 48 out of 50 of my double ups, and the one of the two losses was to a DFS Army VIP. So we had a very similar lineup as you can see with the score here. We had Jaden Daniels. We both had him. Chuba Hubbard, like I said, I liked Mason. I liked Hubbard and Najee. I liked that build. I felt like that gave me a pretty good floor, so that I would have some solid wide receivers. Not pay all the way up at running back and then have to pay down a bit at wide receiver. So I liked those three to start. And then, like I said, Nico Collins, Chris Godwin. I got both of these guys in here. Now, Godwin is snowflake, but still 12 points. Like, we'll take that in our cash games. That score won't win you a GPP, but it's perfectly fine in cash games. We're only trying to beat about half the field. Deontay was my core play. Now, good on Finn's putting Trey Tucker in there. I didn't expect him to get quite as much ownership as he got, but I think Optimal's just kind of jamming him in, so it makes sense. Now, he went with Goddard. Like I said, I thought it was a good pay up week at tight end if you were playing Goddard, because Devonta Smith and AJ Brown were out. He went with Goddard. I did the pay down with Strange, and then we both had Mason and Ramsey. So very similar lineup. It was basically a 2-versus-2 where he chose Tucker over Deontay, and so it was Tucker and Goddard, and I played Deontay and Strange. So, he got the slight edge on me there, but that's the cash lineup. Good week. We've been using the optimal, and by the way, as far as the optimal, like most of the DFS Army VIPs, Grim, for example, the DS, when he says DS, he means the domination station. DFS Army's optimizer. He's been using that to crush cash games. We back tested the 2023 slate. We found you can actually, with a few tweaks, you can run our optimizer to be successful in cash games. We found in 2023, it would have worked about 76% of the times. It's off to a great start for a lot of our VIPs like Grim Aries. So if you want to get access to the optimizer, the domination station, all the tools right now, one more week, max $44.99 for your first month. So 50% off your first month. This gives you all sports, all tools, the domination station, our optimizer, coaching, and the Discord community. So use code VIP50 at checkout. I don't know how much longer this is going to last, so get in on this while you can. I will put the link in the video description. And yeah, join us. See why we win. See how we win. If you don't like it, you can cancel. Try it for your first month. So that's going to wrap it up for this week. We'll see you next week.